Hi, it's Soul Searching Tarot. Welcome to my channel. My name is Leonore. Doing the insight and information for the zodiac Leo. Leo, I did your sign about a week ago as far as the reading is concerned. For those who are watching me for the first time or don't know too much about what I do here on this platform, I do integrate astrology and tarot card reading. I do it in baby steps, okay? I am by no means an astrologer, but I do like to give you information on astrology. I think it's the most powerful information you can now take it as it resonates. It is. Like I said, this video is going to be some insight and information about Leo. I did not do that. I've actually come full circle. Leo, you were my first zodiac sign that I read for on my channel here at Soul Searching, and now I'm back full circle with you. So I didn't do justice to your sign. I had just opened my platform and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to integrate astrology and tarot, but I've seen from all the views that I've gotten in the recent months that people are very interested in knowing the zodiac sign. They really do want information and insight on the zodiac sign. So I know for you, Leo, I was going to do it anyway because I didn't give you too much in-depth information. That deep dark side of me, that Mercury and Scorpio is inside of me needs to tell you the information. My detective work comes out, my research, my planning. Yeah, you'll get to know me. So hopefully you stick around. Leo, just so you know, you are ruled by the sun. You should know that, Leo. Being a fixed sign, you are basically the middle of the solar system. The planets orbit around you, right? I mean, not physically, but your ruler, the sun. That is your every sign has a ruler, by the way. Sometimes they have more than two, but more than one, I should say. But you are just the sun. It stays at the sun, and so here we are, talking about the sun, the fifth house, Leo. I'm very excited to talk about Leos. I think you guys are royalty. You are, and you command the room with such class and charm. You really can light up a room, and so I want you, not just you Leos, for anyone who is watching my video, could be a cross watcher, to understand that birth charts are very important. I say that constantly, like almost in all my videos. I will leave the link so that you could find out your birth chart, because I don't have any Leo in my birth chart, but my sun sign is Scorpio, Sag. And so you need to know where you have Leo placed. You could have Leo placed in Venus. You can have Leo placed in Mars. You can have Leo placed on your moon. So it's important, that whether you have this as a sun sign or not as a sun sign, wherever it's placed, I invite you, if you know your birth chart, and if you don't, look at the link below. I will leave it. It's a very user-friendly website, astro.cafeastrology. All you have to know is your date of birth, where you were born for time zone reasons. Time, super important. But even if you don't know the time that you were born, okay, just leave it blank. Just put unknown. And but I just wouldn't go by your ascending sign. okay? Ascending is just as important as a sun sign, because it is the mask that you wear sometimes um, during the day. Yeah, we do wear masks. The sun is out. The sun, or sun sign, whatever day you were born, and whatever zodiac sign you fall in, is your outer personality. Okay, it's when your soul entered um, the earth. So your ascending and your sun sign has a lot to do with it. Not to bore you, Leo. I like to talk about these things when it comes to birth charts. Okay, so I'm inviting people that have Leo placements in their birth chart to also listen to the insight and information I have to give about Leo, as well as I just did a video on Saturn, folks. So I did a miniature video on Saturn. It's a reading for every sign. I'll leave the link for that as well, because right now we are being affected by Saturn and a lot of scorpionic energy. And so I also did a full equinox reading for all signs. And I just did a reading for your sign about a week ago. So, remember that the planet affects the house. The Leo is the 5th house. My drawing. Usually I take out my drawings during birth chart videos. Let me take it out for you, Leo. Really quick. Okay. So this is a zodiac wheel. This is my interpretation of the zodiac wheel. Zodiac wheels are much more complex than this. This is just a Mickey Mouse version of it. So if you've seen my birth chart videos before, you'll see that Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn are all squared. They're opposite polarity. Not squared, but I should say opposite polarity. So Aries and Libra. So we got the spring babies over here in green. I don't know if you could see that. I did try to shade it in green, different colors. I'll put it a little bit closer so you could see it. And then from Cancer to Virgo, what the hell? What color is this? Purple. Why is it not showing? I don't know if you can see it on your end, but I can't on mine. Cancer. So sorry. Aries, Taurus, and Gemini are considered the babies of the zodiac Leos. Okay, you're not in the babies. All right, Aries, Taurus, Gemini all has to do with getting to know the world, the outside world. Aries is considered the baby of the zodiac. Taurus is it's all about possession, and Gemini is getting to know the community. Stepping out into the world for the first time. Cancer is starting the summer solstice, right? So Cancer, Leo, here you are, Leo, and Virgo. You guys are considered basically the teenager, the person in college, graduating college, starting a family. Cancer is considered basically the home, So once you leave the stage, the baby, toddler, children stage, you get to the teenage phase where home means a lot to you. It's what you've known since you were a baby. Your family. Leo, you represent the teenager of the zodiac wheel. It's the popular jock, popular cheerleader. And so it's very important that you know that, I'm not making this up. This is in order for a reason, okay? So Leo, you're getting to know thyself at this age, what do teenagers do? It's getting to know themselves, ego has a lot to do with it. They can, teenagers can be self-absorbed. Virgos are the people, and when I mean people, I should say houses. I shouldn't say people, but the houses, which means zodiac signs, another word for zodiac sign. Virgo represents more of, like I said, graduating college, starting a family, the mundane things of life, responsibility, working, paying the bills. Then we get to Libra, okay? This is the fall. Okay, so now we're in the fall equinox. So Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. I did shade this pretty well. This is in yellow, but yeah, Libra is the interpersonal, getting to know, people at work. That's interpersonal. Your family members, your children, your husband, your wife. Committed, whatever committed relationship you've been in already for the past 10, 15, 20 years. It's all about interpersonal relationships, okay? Scorpio, you are the, probably at this stage, this house represents other people's money. So now you're thinking about your retirement, your 401k plan. Like, I need to start saving money. My kids are about to go to college, or my kids graduated college, and I gotta think about myself, and so stuff like that. Money, money, money. Sagittarius is a higher learning, At this point, you could become pretty spiritual, maybe go back to school to start a new career. I'm tired of your 30-year career and want to do something new. Yeah, Sagittarius is a centaur of the zodiac, of the constellation. So, they're ready to take action in some shape, way, or form. So then we get to Capricorn. Now we're in a winter solstice, right? So this is Capricorn. I know it's hard to read, but this is Capricorn, right? So I have Capricorn. Capricorn, that house is a very serious house. It represents legacy. So your children at this point, this is the elderly part of the zodiac, the last three signs, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So it does represent seriousness. Like, yeah, we don't have time for shit like that. We've done it, been there. We're trying to move past that. We need to make a legacy here. So that's the house of Capricorn. Grandchildren, children, very important to them. Cultural and political opinions matter at this point, Aquarius. So then we have Aquarius. So Aquarius is the 11th house, okay? So it goes in order, right? Remember, 12 zodiacs. So I'm going by order, right? The Aquarius, the 11th house, which is the second last house, Aquarius is actually the polar opposite of Leo. I don't know if you could tell. No, it's not an even line, but it is a polar opposite of Leo. Everybody has a polar opposite. I explain this in my birth chart videos. Aquarius and Leo, Cancer and Capricorn, Aries and Libra, Virgo and Pisces. So, where the ego, or knowing thyself, the I will, or the me, in Aquarius is now more concentrated on the grander part of humanity. It's no longer about myself. It's about humanity. At this point, you've pretty much reached a sense of peace. Your ego has been shedded, because starting from Capricorn, there's no more ego. Even from Scorpio and Sagittarius, but mostly Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, there is no ego here. This is the elderly part of the zodiac wheel. Yeah, and so depending on people's birth chart, folks, I'm not saying that if you're an Aquarius, you're like this, of course, your moon placement, your Venus, your Mars, your ascending sign all has to do a lot with your personality. Okay. Aquarius is all about the, humanitarian, you know, looking at the world at a greater scale, not just yourself anymore. That's the polar opposite of Leo. And then Pisces, the last sign, I mean, poor Pisces. So Pisces, I don't know if you've ever seen the symbol for Pisces. It's one fish swimming upstream and the other one downstream. Pisces has like a dual personality, just like Gemini. Not as complex as Gemini, because Gemini can be complex. But Pisces, they're holding the brunt of all these signs. They really are. They're like the basket case of all these signs. Aries traits can go into Taurus. Taurus traits can go into Gemini. Gemini traits will go into Cancer. Cancer goes into Leo. I mean, by the time you get to Pisces, Pisces is carrying the brunt of all of these signs. No joke. So there's two sides of Pisces, and if Pisces doesn't really get to know thyself, because it does represent religion and looking and helping people, looking at people, working with them, helping them. Pisces is very outwards. They share their energy in an outward type of way. They want to help. But then there are some Pisces that are different, and because they're holding the brunt of all these signs, they can be any sign at any moment. It's hard to fucking recognize a Pisces. I constantly always get mistaken. I'm like, so you must be like an Aries. And they're like, no, I'm a Pisces. You must be like a Capricorn. They're like, no, I'm a Pisces. I'm like, you are? But yeah, that's the way it works. All right, enough of this drawing. All right, so definitely please look at your birth chart. Like I know I said this before, but even if you don't have a sun in Leo, the insight and information I'm about to give you now will affect the ruler, that planet that Leo sits in. And what is Leo? Let's see. It does represent recreation. It does represent beauty. I did say self-discovery. I don't know if you know anything about this, Leos. I know Leos can be pretty active. A lot of fire signs are very active. They need to burn that fuel. Leos represent the solar plexus. It's a chakra. We have 9 chakras. We have the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart. We have the solar plexus, which is you, represents you, Leo, which is your stomach. Okay, sacral, which is the reproduction. The root, which is your lower back, your spine, your lower spine. You'd be surprised how tense all these things, the chakras affects. If you don't have it in a line, if you don't have it clean, even the hands. So the hands are like the 8th and 9th chakras. Well, if you don't have it in alignment, oneness, remember, and I'm saying this, Leo, for you specifically because it is the individualism of the sign. Remember, you're the teenager. You're trying to get to know thyself. So it's all about self-discovery. You can't be self-absorbed. So this can hurt your solar plexus as you get older. You could have stomach problems, or any type of shape or form of, I mean that shape or form, with stomach issues, because you're holding a lot of responsibility. At this point, you may be ashamed or disappointed by things that's happened in life. And so you have to find the balance. It happens to all of us. I'm not saying just you, Leo. We all have solar plexus, but your sign represents the solar plexus of the zodiac. And so, and in the heart as well, too, by the way. And so did I mention the heart? I did mention the heart. Okay. So, you need to find your balance and try to rediscover yourself confidence, because, you know, Leo, come on. You're all about self-confidence. You have the self, I mean, I have so much respect for you because you have so much self-confidence. It exudes out, and it's like, you know, like I said, you light up the room. um, but be very careful as you get older. You know, we all have disappointments, we all have guilt, we all have some type of shame, and we need to let go of it and forgive ourselves and others. Okay? Okay. All right. So the fifth house also rules, well, because it rules the heart, you know, you guys are so compassionate, so romantic. You could have crush after crush after crush. You know, again, we're going back to the teenager, right? But even as adults, it's like, you know, you're like thinking like, how can I get a raise? How can I ask for a raise? How can I build, you know, my status? Whatever you Leo think about. And so, all of a sudden you see like this really cute girl or this cute guy, and you're like, crush, impulsive crush. And you will pursue Leos, by the way. You are the stalkers of the zodiac sign. Not just you, there's someone else too. There's another sign. I want to say Scorpio. I think Scorpio, yeah. You and Scorpio have a lot of similarity as far as power. Power, oh my God, between Scorpio sun and Leo sun, that is a lot of power there. But in different ways, in different formats, in different aspects. But yes, both you and Scorpio are the stalkers of the zodiac. So, but you know, in a cute little way, you could be, you know, cute little stalkers, but in a negative way, shadow side, yeah, it could be pretty scary. Try to control that. All right. Also, you rule children. In the tarot card, if you're interested in tarot card reading, if not, I don't care. I will talk about it. Tarot card, you guys are represented by two cards in the tarot card deck. So when I read tarot, or anyone, if you hear anyone read tarot, you're represented by strength. Surprise? Not really, right? Lion is the strength, the courage, the pride. You know, for a reason, you are the lion, you know? And you also are represented by the sun, because sun is your ruler. And usually, especially in traditional tarot deck cards, you'll see like the sun. I wish I had one to show you, and like little children, you know, walking and running and having fun, because you are very playful, Leo. That's one thing about you that I admire and love, is that you're very playful. You guys have great sense of humor. I think a lot of fire signs do. I love fire signs, I do. You're all different in different ways, right? You know, Leo is a fixed sign, so they're going to be very fixated in things, and then we have Aries. Aries is the cardinal sign. You know, they're all about action, action, fast, 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 impatient. And then we have Sag, who is a little more laid back, you know, but you know, they have fuel to burn, lots of fuel to burn. They don't say it outright, but they do. And it could be in a negative and positive way. They can also have a temper. All of you, all fire signs can have a temper. All right. So, one thing I wanted to say, I was actually very happy to even find this out, but not surprising, because Leos are known as risk takers. Your house, Leo, the fifth house rules the pornography industry. Thank you, Leo, for showing me all those lessons. Yeah, it does. It surely does. Yeah. Leos, you know, you do have also a shadow side. Now, I talk about this with every sign. Every sign has a shadow side. Shadow side meaning malefic, you know, and some at some points it can, you know, it's not so bad. At some points it is pretty goddamn bad. Your shadow side can be the narcissist of the zodiac sign. Remember, it's all about ego with you, and you will point the finger at someone, and it's just not only you, Leo. Geminis also have this quality where they play the victim role. And Leos, you do that very well. And so that's just your narcissism, low vibrational side. I'm not saying that all Leos are like this at all whatsoever. Remember, your polar opposite is Aquarius. So Aquarius exudes that type of energy too, but in a different way. They can be sociopath. So we have narcissist and we have sociopath. So sociopath is more of a larger scale, right? Instead of a one-on-one relationship, you know, it's sociopath, occult leaders, you know, that's all about Aquarius. That's your opposite sign. That's a shadow side. Bigotry, by the way, you Leo, your shadow side has a lot to do with bigotry. You're very self-absorbed. All right. Okay, let's move on. All right, so you have wonderful, the uttermost wonderful pride, personal pride. You know, that comes from the courage and the strength. You guys, I mean, you're the sun. What the fuck? It can't get any better than the sun. You have royalty. So you guys are natural, you know, you folks are natural born leaders. I don't know why. I have this Skittle in front of my face, guys, and I just want to eat. Do you mind if I eat like two? A sweet tooth. Sorry. I can't help it. It's in my face, you know? Out of sight, out of mind. All right, let's put it out of sight, out of mind. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to talk about 4 leaders. I just said that Leos are natural born leaders. You are. At a job, in your family, you are leaders no matter where you go. You have a wonderful sense of self-importance. And that's wonderful. That's a great quality trait. Now, I'm gonna go into political leaders. You ready? I'm gonna start with Bill Clinton, Sun in Leo. He was nominated twice for presidential terms, 8 years. Loved by the people. Barack Obama, Sun in Leo. Both were elected 2 times as president of the United States. They were adored by many people. There were people that wanted them to have like a 3rd term. But of course, that's against the rule in the United States. You can only serve 2 terms. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bill Clinton or Barack Obama would have served a 3rd term if that was allowed in the United States. What do they have in common besides being a Leo? They were both attorneys. Both are attorneys, or were attorney, I should say. Both of them were raised by single mothers. Mostly their mothers were a big influence in their life. Also, they both married great women. One thing about Leos, they want an extension of who they are. They're gonna pick an extension of who they are. They want somebody to represent them. They don't want no like cheesy I don't know what you would call them, Leo. You know what I mean? You're not gonna pick just anybody. You want someone that is going to be your ride or die. You're going to pick someone that is, that you're very proud to show off. Like, this is my girlfriend. This is my husband. You know what I mean? And so, that they both married two amazing, smart ass women. Both of them also were attorneys, right? Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama. Smart, just as smart as they were. And I know I called them ride or die, but in case for those people that don't know what ride or die is, it's basically a woman who's willing to put up with shit. But definitely support, I should say, support their husband. And no matter what type of situation that goes on, I mean, no matter what type of, Bill Clinton has had his own, situation going on with, getting a blowjob underneath the Oval Office desk. He talked his way out of that one, didn't he? Such a Leo trait. But his wife never left him. Not at all. Not at all. She supported her husband despite the situation. Michelle Obama, another one. She was the rock. Obama said that all the time. My wife is the rock of the family. So these men appreciated their wives. Yeah, they, everybody has fucking issues, whatever. But these men married these women for a certain reason. They were, I don't know if you ever heard the saying, behind every great man, there's a great woman. And so I appreciate, you, Hillary, and you, Michelle, for helping us have your husbands as presidents. Love both of them. And I'm not saying that because I'm a political person and a Democratic, I don't care about politics. Honestly, I really don't. Yes, I'm registered to vote, and yes, I do vote here and there, but I could care fucking less right now at this point in my age. I got shit to do. I got to talk to you guys about shit like this, right? Astrology, spirituality, tarot card reading. What's so important about politics? I mean, you can know these things. All right. I'm just playing, Leo. You know that I am. Okay. Also, I love these both men. I'm not gonna lie. I loved Bill Clinton and I love Barack Obama. They both had, to close out these two political leaders before I go and move on to another two political leaders. Bill Clinton, when he entered a room, and when I mean the room, I'm talking about the room, the press conference room, right? And they had to answer a question. Well, Bill Clinton especially, it's like, he loved being the center of attention. He's a crowd pleaser. He was a crowd pleaser. He would stay there and answer questions, for hours. It didn't matter. He would crack jokes and this is a press conference, for crying out loud. You were caught sucking dick, I mean, he wasn't caught, but kind of. But he was so playful and happy-go-lucky and well, I didn't have intercourse with her. I mean, for crying out loud, what's the big deal? And then he would crack a joke and everybody would laugh, and boy, did he get away with that one. And so, and then Barack Obama, sorry if I'm being a little vulgar. Sorry. I can't help it. I do curb my language a lot. I do curb my language a lot. I'm not always like this, Leo, for those who are wondering. Then we have Barack Obama. Obama didn't have fucking patience. He would go into the press conference, ask, they would ask him questions. Probably he will answer 3, 5, 6 tops, depending on the subject, the matter of the situation. And he would get impatient and leave. I've seen him storm out. It's like clips of him just storming out. That's that fire, that's that raw. Like, leave me the hell alone. I've answered your question. I'm not going to answer it in another format. It's going to be the same answer no matter which way you give it to me. No patience for it. He had no patience for it. He had a family to go home to. Had time for that shit. So that was their different way of, but still they were amazing. I don't know. Sorry if I'm talking too much about them. I just I do love Leos. I do love Leo men and women. They are sunny, bright, cheerful, playful people. They have their shadow sides, but that's okay. We still love you, Leos. All right. So I wanted to talk about Alexis Tsipras. Sorry, he is the Prime Minister of Greece, by the way. He was the Prime Minister of Greece. I don't know if his term ended this year or will end this year, but Alexis Tsipras is the Prime Minister of Greece. Now, let me bring it back to 2007, 2008, when we had the fucking debt crisis going on, right? Even here in America, Barack Obama there was a bank bailout. Fucking banks went bankrupt. And in Greece, this situation was pretty bad. I remember looking at the television, and I don't listen to the news nowadays, but back then, I was like, holy shit, and it wasn't just Greece, by the way. There's countries that are still being affected by the debt crisis that started back in 2007. And we have Alexis Tsipras, who for many years, negotiated or oversaw the negotiations of trying to bail out his country, just like Barack Obama did for us. I mean, we're talking about people that were impoverished, lost property, the safety was, just not there anymore. People fear for their safety. Healthcare. Imagine us. We did go through this situation. When Barack Obama started, I think he just started his second term, if I'm not mistaken, or was it his first? I'm sorry, it was his first term. And he walked into this crisis debt. And Alexis Tsipras at the time, he wasn't prime minister yet, but he was eventually elected as prime minister. But this is after he negotiated for many years for his country to just basically get out of this debt crisis. I mean, to help job creation and support the growth of this country again. Greece, this is Greece. People vacation in Greece. I don't know too much about Greece, but there's countries out there that have suffered. Spain is still suffering. There's countries in South America that are suffering still. There's there's not a lot of leaders like Barack Obama who helped the country, who was all about helping their country. That fixation of a Leo. Unfortunately, we have other leaders in other countries that could give a damn. Venezuela. Let's talk about Venezuela and Donald Trump. Now, I know that Donald Trump is a Gemini. And listen, Donald Trump is not all bad. I've seen, he's a Gemini. bipolar a little bit. But that's besides the point. Listen, he was trying to help a country, one of the countries, especially Venezuela, to get out of this debt crisis that's been going on for what, almost a decade now, if not more. It's just getting worse by the year. And he was sending aid and support, healthcare to this country. But unfortunately, this country was taken over by a president that could care less. And all the aid that came from the United States that Donald Trump sent to this country to help them, have these people, and help a little bit, like he tried to, like I said, healthcare and food and clothing and stuff like that, the necessity stuff of life, try to help this country. And do you know where that aid we're talking about a lot of money sitting at the border of Venezuela or Colombia, maybe. I think maybe Colombia. They're saying no, we don't want that. We don't want your help, Donald Trump. We can figure it out ourselves. So not a lot of people, or leaders, I should say, are willing to help their country. They're very selfish. And Alexis Tsipras, Greece was happy to have this man help in the debt crisis, because it really did affect a lot of the world. That's Pluto in Capricorn. I talk about Pluto in Capricorn. Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte, for those who don't know what I just said. Napoleon Bonaparte, he is also a Leo. Well, he was a Leo, right? He's dead. He's been dead for hundreds of years. He was born August 15. Now, Napoleon Bonaparte, such an interesting man, was loathed by the British and Russians for good reason. I mean, he invaded practically all of Europe, as well as some parts of, like Egypt, Netherlands, Syria, Austria. I mean, the Revolutionary Wars that lasted a decade, Napoleon Bonaparte went and invaded these countries. I mean, at this point, he was a commander-in-chief. And he did this all by the age of 30, by the way. He was sent to military school at a very young age, so military was his whole life. At least the younger part of his life. He was like all, lieutenant and commander. I mean, he invaded these countries and won, all by the age of 30. But there came a point after the Revolutionary Wars that his country needed him. By the way, France, right? I don't know if you know, Napoleon Bonaparte was the emperor. What do I say is? Was the emperor of France. He crowned himself as emperor, by the way. And this all happened after the Revolutionary Wars. Now, his country needed him, right? I mean, we're talking about a war that lasted 10 years. So pretty much a lot of Paris and other parts of France needed to be rebuilt, is what I'm saying. The capital of France, Paris, needed to be rebuilt. And he did so. And he implemented these rules that still affects France to this very day. If I had to say the political and cultural the way he created the fair and modern legal code that is going on today until this very day. I mean, this was back in the 1800s, late 1700s, 1800s. He implemented this legal code that still exists in France today. So he is very much celebrated, controversial, but he is very still much celebrated in that country because he rebuilt France and he made France what it is today. No, he was, can't remember how you say it, but anyway, like I said, he crowned himself emperor at the Cathedral Church of Notre Dame. And he did this with the Papat, you know, with the Roman Catholic Church in the presence. And that's what happened, you know. But eventually he was handed over to the British. Yeah, somebody was a rat, handed him over to the British. But the British put him in detention for, I think for the last 7 years of his life, if I remember correctly. He was sent to Mount Helena, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's an island, and he was sent away in detention. He wrote his memoirs. Not surprising, because the fifth house does rule the theater. How can you not write your memoirs? How can Napoleon Bonaparte, no. Napoleon Bonaparte. Love saying that. That sounds more Italian, right, than French. Not write his memoirs. He wrote his memoirs and then eventually died at the age of 51. But, you know, he made Paris too. He literally conducted, rebuilt and conducted the political structure, cultural code that you still see in France today. He did that until this very day. It still goes on, including monetary. All right, so I mean, you know, we're talking about the greatest leader, controversial, but one of the greatest leader and commander in history. So this is the energy that is played out in Leo. All right. So that's basically all I wanted to say. I wanted to tell you a little bit about, I think I said this in the beginning anyway, but I'll repeat myself. We are at a very, there's an energy shift, folks. I don't know if you're interested in this, Leo, but you are the sun. And the reason why I started my video with you, Leo, when I opened up this platform was because of the 2 eclipses that was going on in the summer. And when is your birthday? In the summer. And so if you had any type of pivotal moments that have, for the good or bad, hopefully for the good, but you know, if you have any pivotal moments or life-changing moments that started changing around the summertime or even before that, you know, I invite you to listen to my tarot card reading, which I just did recently. I just did a recent one about a week ago. I'll leave the link. I'll also leave the link to the Saturn and the full equinox readings. They're little miniature readings, and that full-length reading, they're for all signs. But I'll leave the links for that, you know, in case that helps you in any way. And I'll also leave the very first reading that I did for you over the summer. And hopefully that resonates with you. And that's it, you know. If you need a private reading, I have my email in the description box. Contact me. And I am charging $22.22. I am just trying to finish my contract as far as the account that I'm going to be using, because I don't want to use PayPal. No bueno. All right. Thank you, Leo, for inviting me into your life. Hi, Leos. All right. Good night.